John Vervaeke's idea that some of the reason that there's a meaning crisis and people are looking to religion and or feeling put off by religion uh, is because of our way of thinking, basically, about truth. So I wrote some notes just kind of summarizing some of John Vervaeke's thoughts. So, in short, over time, we've lost more and more of our connection to a broader, true world, a world which can said to be connected to the divine, which is a higher ordering principle and or an anthropomorphic human-like being with will. Our world and minds become more narrowed, and we are less at home in this universe. We feel alienated and lost, but our religions and philosophies, rather than leading us to a bigger and better world and way of thinking or mind way, have also been narrowed by the modern worldview. Hence, we have nowhere to turn for knowledge that matters, to learn our place in the world, to learn how to live, or how to gain wisdom. The churches are often focused on rigid and exclusionary beliefs on the one hand, or they basically stand for nothing, accepting everything on the other. In response, they may overemphasize identity, spiritual status, and, influenced by romanticism, strong emotion. On the other hand, the emphasis on dogma and spiritual status, by that I mean whether one is worthy of the kingdom of heaven and narrowly whether one will go to heaven or hell after death, pushes people into narrow channels of belief and behavior and away from concerns of being. Example of this is Calvinistic thinking. Our universities, too, no longer know what they believe in. That's from Allan Bloom, The Closing of the American Mind. The university, like the church, has become an overwrought smorgasbord that has something shiny for everyone, but nothing real for practically anyone. Hence, few would go to university to gain wisdom or induction into a noble, beautiful way of life. The university produces data that informs our politics. Again, Vervaeke here. This lostness in the world may be why people are talking much more about mindfulness, about Buddhism, Stoicism, even psychedelics, and have interest in Catholicism and in the Orthodox Church. But yeah, any thoughts about any of that?
Mm.
That kind of focuses on two very big concerns of mine, which are sort of spirituality, the church, whatever you want to call it, the community of, I don't want to say believers, I want to say seekers or, you know, the lost, which is sort of like what a seeker is before they even know they're seeking something, and the university. It's like where we go for knowledge or wisdom. But I feel like, yeah, both of those places have lost their way, or people don't have faith in them. They don't go to them, except for sort of more mundane, practical things.
Mm.
Yeah, what do you think of all that?
Mm. Uh, Yeah, it just had me thinking how in comparison to Protestantism and Catholicism, Orthodoxy is lesser known in America and
Yeah.
perhaps less established. So
Mm.
it doesn't have the, I guess it doesn't have the same maybe levels of uh,
Prejudice or something.
criticism or criticism or scandal.
Mm,
or things compared to the former two. And
yeah,
it's something kind of it's different, and I think maybe there's more of an intrigue there and curiosity. So maybe
that
that's
makes
why it's
sense.
doing better.
Yeah, that makes
One
sense.
of the reasons why it's
But I
doing
think there
better right
might be
now.
something inherent to it as well, in
Yeah.
that it's more ritual, it's more mystical. Um, and of course, those things are also maybe a little bit connected to that, it being sort of more foreign, something like that
Mhm.
for Western Europeans and Americans. Yeah, I have to admit, yeah, it even holds more attraction for me too because of that. I mean, both Catholicism and Orthodoxy, I grew up Protestant, um, are fascinating to me. I like the tradition, ritual, ancientness, the priests in garb, they take vows. I respect all that stuff. That stuff means something to me, even though I didn't grow up with it. But with Orthodoxy, yeah, you have the further, more mystical kind of ritual. Um, uh, yeah, I think it was sort of more influenced by Plato, and the Roman Catholic Church is more Aristotle. So more, more about definitions and rules and things like that than the
Mhm.
Eastern Orthodox Church is.
Yeah, it's like when I hear Orthodox people criticizing the Catholic Church online, it's more about how by kind of with the Vatican II stuff that they feel like we became more Protestant in the services when
Mm.
we and instead of like our the kind of traditional um more
You mean
traditional
because
elements.
because the services became more, they use the language of the people, not using Latin anymore, the sort of
Or-
sacred language. The priest
yeah,
was facing the congregation rather than facing outwards towards like sort of divine light.
yeah,
Everybody
and
facing forward in the front of the church.
yeah, and also like more contemporary music becoming acceptable.
Mm, yeah,
So yeah, that's what I hear from the Orthodox online that they feel we should have kept that. We should have, well, we still have the traditional churches, but the vast
very
majority
few.
now are kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
think you went to one of those, didn't you?
yeah, well, my first church was a traditional church. It was more Latin, um, incense, Gregorian chants and stuff. So I went there for years, and then I
Mm,
moved and went to the New Catholic Church, and then it was strange to me. I felt the more contemporary feeling. I didn't like it.
mm.
And
How do
it
you
took me
feel
a while
now?
to get used to it.
Mm,
Well, I got used to it, but I always liked the more traditional ones.
yeah. Yeah, I don't have experience, but I would prefer, I would prefer the more traditional. I only have experience of contemporary music in church, which I hate. So, but I don't like the rock and roll type of music in church, and like the people playing it wearing sort of casual clothes and stuff. And it'd look weird to play rock and roll wearing suits. So, there you go. Please like and subscribe for more of our open minded content, and comment below on your thoughts or questions about the story. Let us know if you'd like us to cover another stimulating story, and thank you for participating.